Good afternoon, and I am saying good afternoon because it is afternoon. Welcome to build day 35. We had some errands to run this morning, mainly going to the grocery store. But before we went, I spent about an hour, just under an hour out here, getting things together that we're going to need to do the water room. I've got my water blasters, my pumps, the lining, the tools, most of the tools I'm going to need. I don't have everything out here I need to do the room, but I got the basics out here to at least get started. And I think we're going to start with the Dragon Mermaid display and get the pond in it, and then get the mermaid and the dragons permanently attached and get its pump ran. So that's all good to go. Did want to touch on lining. What I'm doing is I go up to Ace every couple of years and I pick up some 6 mil plastic. Comes in a 100-foot roll and it's 20 feet wide. And a full roll will last me a couple of years. Now what I just showed you, I bought a couple of years ago. That's all I got left of it. And it's not going to be enough to do the ponds this year. I've got the Dragon Mermaid, the pumping station, the water wall, and the clown to do, and there's just not enough there. So, I did go down, and I bought this at Ace. You want to stick away from using clear. You want something more white. It helps reflect some of the UV light a bit, and like with us, once we get the water into the ponds, we add a dye to it to help it fluoresce. The white will also help the water fluoresce as well. But you want to use at least 6 mil. And the roll I'm getting at Ace says clear. It ain't clear. It's more of a white. But it works good, and it runs about 120 bucks for a whole roll of it. But you get 2 to 3 years depending of use out of it, depending on the size of your ponds. Now, like this year, my ponds are a little bit smaller than I normally do. I usually have a fairly good sized one and 2 small ones, and they're all about the same size this year. So I won't use quite as much lining. So I might be able to get 3 full years out of that roll. I don't know. But we do need to get started in here. I'm not sure how far we're going to get. I got the liners in the 3 ponds to do. I got to get their props back in and set up and ready to go. I've got pumps to wire up. I've got lighting on the pumping station and in the barrels, and then Bert guy to do. And the real, excuse the French, bitch is going to be the water wall. I got to get it all the way put together and up and running. So it's going to be fun. Now the water wall and its pond is going to be the last pond I do. I want to get everything else as done as I can before I tackle that. So it's time to get going. So hold on. Here we go. Right after lunch of the day, garlic bread. Picked some up at the grocery store. I had 6 slices and some blue cheese dressing to dip it in. Warmed it up and, dipping it. That's what I have for lunch, and a Coke. So there we go. There's your lunch of the day. Now we can get to work. All right, Sue Ann just called dinner. So I'm going to head in. And I think I better give you a segment because I don't think I've shot anything since this morning. Started out working on the mermaid. Just got the dragon's eyes lit up. Got the liner in. That pond is ready for water. I even got the pump installed and the electrical for that ran over to there. So far, all the pumps are going to dump out right there and get plugged in. I'll run a cord out to the photo op for main power to run the pumps in here. I've been working on this one, and I did a boo-boo. I didn't cut my liner big enough. This wall right here It was supposed to be up against the dragon wall. And I ended up having to move it in just a little bit, not waste the liner. So we got that in. But I got to get the clamshells on and a couple other things in here. I'm going to do that after dinner. And then that will leave that to do. And I think I'm going to hold off on that until tomorrow. I think, because that is a hell of a project, especially with having to put the water wall together and everything. And there's just so much stuff in there that has to be moved. So I'm thinking what I might go ahead and do are these two enclosures. Fred's enclosure just needs straw. There's no lighting that goes in there. The black light lights them up. So if I can get the straw in, I can get the fence in and be done with it. With this one, I've got 3 lights. I got the light that goes in him and a light in each barrel. I think I'm going to go ahead and get the lights in, and I can put the straw in and close him up. And then tomorrow we'll get out here and attack that water wall. If I can get the lights in that I want to get in, I'll give you another nighttime look. Now I know why I'm feeling so groggy. It's 9:30. I'm still out here messing around in the water room. Didn't get all of what I wanted done. But he is lit up. And I got the barrels lit up. I was hoping to get the straw in and get the fences on to them today. So all I would have to do is that section. Not going to happen. So tomorrow we'll get the straw in there, get those 2 displays closed up, and we will be done. Stay tuned for your end of the day wrap up. Pie of the day. Oreo cookie crunch. Okay, Kaylee, you ready for the end of the day wrap up? I think we both are, huh? Been a long day. Water room all day today, baby. Got the mermaid and dragons done. Even got the eyes on the dragons. Got the pumping station all the way assembled. The 2 skeletons that sit to hold the water blasters. I don't know if they're going to stay there or if I'll split them up and put one over with the water wall. I don't think I'll put them over there, any over with the water wall though. I mean, we got the water wall, the leering skeleton, and zombie bait in that area. You know, so I think there's enough over there. And the pumping station's a little empty. So I might end up just leaving them where they're at and see what happens. But past that, I got the light in Burnt Guy, and I also got the 2 barrels in the back lit up. So got somewhere. Tomorrow, as I said in the last segment, I gotta get the straw and hay in, both with the barrels and Fred, and get the fences up, and then it's going to be working on that water wall section, and that is probably going to take all day to do, because there's just so much going on, especially with putting that water wall together. I can't see us getting into the graveyard tomorrow at all. And then tomorrow night, you guys will get a nighttime look at the water room without the water and the dye. But hey, we're getting there, folks. Stay spooky, stay toxic.